So good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday night Anamkara meditation program. With all my heart, with all my love, I welcome you to our program tonight. I have some special things for this evening because we're in the midst of a big holiday in the Hindu tradition known as Navratri, the 9 nights that celebrate Kali Durga and her various manifestations. So I'll be talking about more of that in a little bit. And as I was saying, Navratri, the 9 nights of the celebration of the great goddess Durga and her various manifestations, Kali Durga. Tonight, this day, is dedicated to one of the Devis is Skandamata. Skandamata is the great mother of Lord Skanda, so mother of Skanda, one of the manifestations, and for her nurturing mother, but powerful. You know, all the manifestations of the Devi are potent. They're very powerful. And so they celebrate her living presence and all the different sort of facets of that power. And to me, you know, especially as my background as a Jungian and being interested in archetype and symbol for most of my life, wonderful to see in the magnificent Hindu tradition how they recognize that there's only one divine, but the many facets of that have the archetypal richness that gives humanity many different ways of really relating to the one through different faces, feminine and masculine, child and adult, you know, little baby Krishna or Lord Krishna, you know. So we see this rich, context for being able to know the divine in all its many forms, which also invites the mind to recognize that all forms are forms of the divine. And when we're celebrating the mother in one form, well, we're celebrating that divine essence, really, her essential nature as Shakti. And today I sent out in the e-newsletter, there was a quote from the great yogi. You know, he was Swami Vivekananda, and he was one of the principal devotees of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And he wrote, and I'm going to quote it now, I'm going to read it now, about the Great Mother. He said, the Shaktas, the devotees of Shakti, worship the universal energy as Mother. It is the sweetest name they know. The Mother is the highest ideal of womanhood in India. Mother is the first manifestation of power and is considered a higher idea than Father. The name of Mother brings the idea of Shakti, the divine energy and omnipotence. The baby believes its mother to be all-powerful, able to do anything. The Divine Mother is the Kundalini sleeping in us. Without worshiping her, we can never know ourselves. All-merciful, all-powerful, omnipresent, these are attributes of the Divine Mother. She is the sum total of the energy of the universe. Every manifestation of power in the universe is the Mother. She is life, she is intelligence, she is love, she is the universe, yet separate from it. She is a person and can be seen and known as Sri Ramakrishna saw and knew her. Established in the Mother, we can do anything. She quickly answers prayers. She can show herself to us in any form at any moment. The Divine Mother can have form, rupa, and name, nama, or name without form. And as we worship her in these various aspects, we can rise to pure being, having neither form nor name. The sum total of all the cells in an organism is one person. Each soul is like one cell, and the sum of them is God. And beyond that is the absolute. The sea, calm, is the absolute. The same sea in waves is the Divine Mother. She is time and space and causation. Mother is the same as Brahman and has two natures, the conditioned and the unconditioned. As the former, she is God, nature, and soul. As the latter, she is unknown and unknowable. Out of the unconditioned came the Trinity of God, nature, and soul, the triangle of existence. A bit of mother, a drop, was Krishna. Another was Buddha. Another was Christ. The worship of even one spark of mother in our earthly mother leads to greatness. Worship her if you want love and wisdom. And so this is the profound understanding of when we're worshiping the goddess, or she's celebrated in the many different forms in the Hindu tradition, but celebrated in the divine feminine, known in traditions around the world, all over. And so we're connecting to that boundless power that gives birth to all. Now, that's part of the archetypal nature of mother, is she's the one who gives birth to all forms. It's said that even the forms of the masculine gods are born from her. Shiva would have no form were it not that Shakti gave him a form. Right? So all the forms, anytime we see a form, we're really seeing a manifestation of Shakti, of the Great Mother, of this energy. Now, that is within us as Kundalini. We've been doing a course on Kundalini and the soul's journey and talking about this root power of consciousness that is the very root of existence itself, both limited and unbounded. So when we're focusing and diving into practices related to her, it's helpful to understand the magnitude, the breadth of what we're talking about. Because it can seem like, well, who's Skandamata, or who's Kali, or who's Durga? That these sound like foreign names, foreign faces, but they're really facets of the one that gives birth to all, the one that is known in countless forms around the world as Tara, as Mother Mary, as Shekinah, on and on, Grandmother Spirit, the various manifestations of the Black Madonna, all are really forms of the divine feminine, the great goddess, revealing itself to humanity to serve as a beacon. Come back to this knowing, this direct knowing. The knowing that then not only relieves suffering for ourselves, but it relieves the suffering of all beings. Because when we're in suffering, we're flailing about, causing suffering for other beings. And we see that on the world stage now. People so divorced from their humanity even, much less their divinity, that in that painful ignorance, that darkness of ignorance, people become capable of the most atrocious things. And that's what we see. So this remedy of coming back to what's the nature of who and what we are? How do we live that into the world? How can religions that hold that kind of understanding bring that into the world, walk that into the world, demand that the followers of that live to those highest principles? Because all the great traditions talk about that boundlessness of love as being the highest, purest form of the divine. So we come back to that over and over again. And it's through that we come to know ourselves and have our experience of both ourself and the reality, the creation in which we live, transformed. Because now we can see that divinity everywhere. So I thought I would also share, because it's Navratri, some poems from Kali's Bazaar, penned by Kalidas. So this was the first collection of poems that came out, 10 or 11 years ago. Again, invocations of the Great Mother, invocations of Kali Durga. This poem is Jaya Kali Ma. What mind can possibly approach you, much less grasp you, my beloved Kali? This ordinary mind longs for you to be simple, predictable, easily appreciated, a sweet divinity, a demure goddess, lovely to look at, engendering kindness. Instead, You parade forth in gruesome reality. Unabashed, you unleash your limitless creative power, thrilling the mind and body with overwhelming sensual delights, propelling the spirit into awe-inspiring transcendent domains, and crushing us all in your jaws of time, decay, and suffering. You gave birth to ignorance, and her offspring, lacking this and wanting that, populate the universe. Is there nothing you don't delight in creating? How is this poor mind ever going to truly worship you? I set out to circumambulate your divine form, to do puja to you, but lifetimes of effort have left me gasping. Seeing your infinitude spread out in all directions, my mind and heart quiver with fear and adoration, longing for annihilation in you, my beloved. You demand full and total sacrifice, not flower garlands and coins tossed at a statue, not merely lighting candles and prostrating piously, nor sitting still as a corpse lost in the illusion of inside and outside. No, you delight in swallowing all sense of separation. Offer me your individuality, you say. Offer up your ego mind. Offer up the waking dream and deep sleep states. This yoga is only for the insane, drunk on the nectar of divine love. If you drink from the Holy Grail, you will drown in the end. Jai Kali Ma, Jai Kali Ma. This is the one who is invoked by chants, names, contemplations, recollections, the Divine Mother, the infant going, Ma, Ma. Not just calling our earthly mother. That name resounds through the universe. That name draws the Divine Mother. Ma, Ma. So we follow our heart into that boundless energy, Shakti, power of consciousness that is every cell in the body, that is every thought in the mind. When we change our perspective, when we change our view, then everything we see, again, whether it's a thought arising in the mind, or whether it's the breath coming in and going out, whether it's sensations in the body, whether it's somebody that appears to be separate from us, we begin to see, no, there's only one. There is only one, the divine, everywhere. Delighting in having become all that is and knowing all that is as its own self. And she gives the grace of her wisdom. That's what transforms our view, knowing wisdom. This is another one of her poems from Kali's Bazaar. The wise know. The wise know these three to be separate: wants, needs, and love. By reducing their wants and needs, love fills the spaciousness of their being. They want only the end of suffering and the fullness of joy for all beings. They need only that which enables them to fulfill their dharma. They love with abandon all of creation. This is what it is to be wise. This is what it is to be fully human. Animals, even insects, fight over territory, possessions, and mates, kill each other for food, and are constantly wary of attack. What makes you any different? Distinguish yourself from these suffering life forms. You have a precious human birth. What are you doing with it? Any creature can be angry, hurtful, fearful, and greedy. You You can be compassionate, loving, kind, patient, and free. The world cries out for your humanity, your wisdom, your grace. You are Tara, you are Kuan Yin, you are Mary, you are Jesus, you are Krishna, you are Buddha, you are Kali. Tatwam Masi. Drop your masks, drop the illusions now. 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 It's always now. You drop it now. We picked up the wrong view of ourselves here and now. We thought ourselves to just be this man or woman, this role that we play, this drama that's unfolding in our lives. We pick that up over and over again. So over and over, we have to drop it. Come back to the truth. Tatwam Asi. Thou art that. That? Oh, that's the boundless one, the infinite, who wears countless names and forms, including you. That's your nature. Knowing that, that's the gift of the Great Mother's grace. Removing the veil so that we can truly see, truly live in that knowing. So this poem is titled Kali's Bazaar. This is where your every footstep lands. Look around. For Kali, all things are possible. In Kali's Bazaar, the infinite becomes finite and emptiness parades as form. In Kali's Bazaar, those born of love kill in hatred, blind to their delusions, flailing about in self-inflicted agony, destroying others instead of their own ignorance. In Kali's Bazaar, where the most loving, kind, and compassionate monks are silently tortured and murdered by deluded Chinese soldiers, where countless children, mothers, and fathers starve to death, their cries of hunger unheard, while people spend incalculable billions to watch a ball hit, kicked, thrown, or bounced to make a quickly forgotten score. In Kali's Bazaar, where your cravings for reflections of yourself has led you into a hole where thousands of mirror shards give you glimpses of what you frantically seek. In Kali's Bazaar, your karma has deposited you. Peer through the darkness. You will see Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, sages and saints, Lao Tzu, Christ, Tara, Krishna, Mary, and Kuan Yin, all actors in this final act of Kali Ma's 4-act play. Follow their light, marking her graceful paths to freedom. No need to hurry if you like the show. No need to worry if you slept through the earlier acts. This play repeats itself forever within Kali's Bazaar, the realm of time. When you finally tire of becoming the victim and the perpetrator, the hunter and the hunted, the hunger and the food, the embraced and the rejected, the sinner and the saint, the bound and the free, the seeker and the sought, the shadow and the light, it's simply time to wake up. Time to wake up. To wake up to the truth of who we are. Wake up to what she reveals. Ma is the power of revelation. Kundalini Shakti is also known as the power of revelation and transformation. The innate power of the divine within to transform our view, to be able to see that we're not just this limited body and mind and all the roles and things it inhabits. We're all that is. In addition, it's additive. It's always more and more and more. Seeing the fullness of being. That's what then takes us beyond the mind entirely. The mind, its view is so small. But consciousness, pure consciousness, Shakti, the mother, she illumines all that isn't, all that's beyond. As our own self. She invites us into that space of knowing. But we have to leave behind that ordinary mind and the limitations we're identified with. They'll stick around. We'll come back to them. But from a place of freedom. To live that freedom is to be able to live love into this tortured world, no matter what. That's what we're called on to know at this time. That's why we're in this birth in this time, to answer that call, the call of Dharma, to live love, compassion, patience, and kindness into the world, into our lives, just as they are. Shiva Shiva Mahadev Namah Shivaya Sarashiva. Oh, what use have I for calling out my own name, when it is my beloved Kali I eternally long for? Kali, 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 Ma Kali, Mahadevi, how you delight in putting on the form of the universe and doing your love dance for me to watch. There's not one of your forms that doesn't know the warm caress of my adoring lips. So Shiva and Shakti, it's that divine feminine and her counterpart. They're one, they're inseparable. That consciousness that apprehends all, witnesses all, sees all, delights in the play of his own Shakti, his own power, his own beloved, taking on all these forms. That's what he sees. And she sees her beloved everywhere. She's clothed him in all the forms of the universe. So when we talk about where these practices that we do of meditation, mantra being a name, nama rupa, right? Name and form. So when we're chanting the name of Kali as mantra, it's invoking the presence of mantra. They are inseparable, the name and the form, the presence, the fullness of that. So when we're chanting, which we're going to be doing in a few minutes, remembering that's what we're invoking. The chants are a sound form of the divine. They're the names of the infinite that summon those exquisite facets into our consciousness. They're already fully present everywhere. We're really summoning them into our limited mind and consciousness. So when we chant, and we'll chant for a few minutes, we'll do a few different chants to Ma Kali and Durga. And then after we're done chanting, we're just going to sit in the stillness, in the silence. If things are arising, we just watch them arise in that stillness and silence. They're the play of Shakti, taking on this form and that form, this thought, this memory, this feeling, this sensation, this whatever it might be. If we step back and look at them as her, rather than getting caught up in the content itself, now we're expanding our spaciousness of being, our spaciousness of being free, okay? So we keep stepping back and letting go, stepping back and letting go, coming back to that living presence of the divine. So we're going to begin chanting now. And to begin with, we'll be chanting a chant, Ma Kali, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi. Mahadevi is the great goddess. That's the name for all the forms in sum, total, the great goddess Shakti, Parashakti, right? So Kali, Bhagavati, the goddess Mahadevi. So we'll chant that for a few minutes. Sit for a few moments in stillness and then do another chant. And again, I invite you at home to put on your headphones, turn up the speakers, whatever you might have, and chant along, because the practice of chanting is one that then the sound vibrations of our own voice, of becoming fully engaged with it, permeates our entire body, right down to the marrow of our bones. So we get the full benefit of the practice. So here we go. Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Ma Kali, Bhagavati, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi, Mata Kali, Mahadevi. Jai Kali Ma, Jai Kali Ma. Just letting the name erase the mind. Open that just spaciousness of being present, detached, aware. The infinite spaciousness of awareness holds all. Come to rest in that. There's another chant to Kali and Kali Durga. And Om Mata Kali. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga Namo Namah, Kali Durga Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga Namo Namah, Kali Durga Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga. Mata Kali, that is the great mother, the great dark mother, dark with mystery, dark with power, dark because she's so far beyond the mind. But she is the one who then can release us from the pain, the suffering created by the mind and identification with the mind. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga. Ma Kali, Durga, they overcome all the demons that were also, they're symbolic of the nature of the mind, the things that afflict us, that get in our way, that obstruct us from knowing the highest, from knowing that, we have this extraordinary love that we carry, and yet how do we live that? How do we stay with that in the moment? How do we make that real in the world? Well, we have to get rid of all the obstacles to that, so that direct flow from our sublime divine nature comes right through us. We become transparent to the infinite, which is our own nature. This is the gift of Ma Kali, Durga, Namo Namah. So we bow to her. So this next chant we're going to do is of Om Kali Ma, and then afterwards we'll just sit in the stillness of meditation. Om Kali Ma, Kali Namo Namah. Om Kali Kali Namo Namah. Om Kali Ma, 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 Kali Namo Kali Namo Namah Om Kali Ma Kali Namo Namah Om Kali Ma Kali Namo Namah Om Kali Ma Kali Namo Namah Shri Mata Kali Mahadevi ki jai. We end with this prayer that may all our practices truly benefit everyone, and may all beings know complete freedom from suffering. Namaste. Jai Kali Ma. Jai Kali Ma. As wonderful as Navratri is, there's never a moment not to celebrate Ma, her living presence, the great Shakti in all her marvelous forms. Saraswati Devi, Annapurna, Parvati, Sundari, Skanda Mata. Skanda Mata. So today is her celebratory day, and her favorite color is yellow. So it said we wear yellow on her day. She's also likes bananas, so you can see bananas over here as an offering. These are just, ways of just tuning our heart to devotion and say, oh, let me give that much more attention to this divine presence. It's always here, always now. So many forms, all forms, her form. So we keep coming back to that highest understanding that she is our very nature. So I want to thank you for coming this evening and being ones who do practices, who explore what it is to know the highest in your own ways and live that into the world. A time in this age of Kali Durga, the fourth act of her four-act play, when Dharma is at its lowest ebb. So sustaining practice, sustaining the highest truth and giving it our attention, for being ones who stand for Dharma, because there's so many people who have abandoned Dharma, and we see it in the world and the suffering that they inflict on everyone, all beings, through the degradation of the environment, through the degradation of society, democracy, just basic humane interactions are challenging right now. So we really have to know the truth for ourselves, be really strong, grounded in that, and then empowered by that to walk it into the world in the face of all the painful ignorance that there is. And then have the practices that allow us to be just immersed in that loving, living, luminous presence of the divine. That's what empowers us to walk it into the world. So thank you for all the ways that you do that. And thank you for the ways that you support Anamkara by sharing our e-newsletters and videos. Thank you for making donations and supporting our work of making teachings freely available to people through YouTube and our programs. So thank you so much. And we'll be meeting again in 2 weeks, which will be in November. So I look forward to seeing you then, but I have one more closing poem from Kali's Bazaar. A blessing from the Mother. May Mahakali reveal her sweet face in all that you encounter, in all that you taste, in all that you seek, in all that you cherish, in all that you love, no matter how quickly these will perish. May you know her grace in all times, in every place. The tides of your breath are your constant reminder that she infuses your body with her life and power. Your every inhalation is her exhalation. Your every exhalation is her inhalation. Remember this, and you will live and die in grace. The grace of knowing the truth, knowing your eternal nature, knowing who you are, even beyond the life of body and mind, the eternal one, who wears the many facets of the goddesses, wears the many faces of gods, wears all the forms of the universe, no matter what we encounter, right? We can transform our vision and go, oh, Om Kalima, Om Kalima, Om Kalima, Om Kalima. Then see the shift in your state. Because it's all about the state of being, the state of awareness, the state of consciousness. Come to your highest state and you'll see it everywhere. We live in our lowest state, we see contractedness, anger, irritability, separation, enemies, other. Where there is no other, there's only one, the divine. So thank you for being ones who practice to know that and live it into the world. Jai Ma. I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks.